We're down to four in Copa America, the soccer semifinals, and we're going to get the very latest, see if we can pick some winners here with Brad Thomas of NBC Sportsbet. Kind enough to spend a few minutes with us here on NewsWire. Brad, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. And, at a time where all it really is Major League Baseball and a little WNBA and some other sports as well, golf. I mean, it's really great to have this going on down to the Final Four Copa America. Thanks again for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. This has been like one of those situations where you find yourself looking at the slate and figuring out what's on later at night or during the day. And you have two beautiful football tournaments in Euro 24 and Copa America. And luckily here in the United States, if you're fortunate to have one of the host cities, you can go catch a game, which has been pretty phenomenal, especially in like the dog days of summer.
Yeah, and I think that it's always fun to have a team that's close enough to the United States to root for a little bit, although the U.S., of course, had an early out here. But it is Canada. Canada is one of those teams that's the darling of the tournament right now. They're still 9-1 tomorrow night when they take on Argentina. Argentina's a huge favorite here, a tie plus 380 when it goes down to points. But naturally, this is a great story, I think, just for sports in general. I guess I would ask you the chances here of another upset coming from Canada.
Well, let's put it this way. To win a tournament or even to advance far into a tournament like this, you need a bit of good fortune. And it doesn't matter if you're getting the good fortune that Canada has, where they played two matches where they were up a man, or you had the good fortune of Argentina, who's one of the best teams in the world, who just got on the good side of the draw. They would take I would take a lot of luck, I would say. The Canadians are overmatched and very fortunate to be here. And them losing to Argentina for a second time in this tournament is nothing for them to slump their shoulders over. They've had an amazing run, and regardless of how much luck it's taken, you still need to win. You still need to get points to advance. I'm heavy on Argentina in this match here, and for a couple of reasons. I took Argentina minus 1.5. First of all, the price. It's plus 110. They beat them 2-0 in the first game, and I think the game's going to play a little bit different than it did in the first. The first game, we saw a very excitable Canadian team. They moved forward. They tried to score goals. They were really aggressive. But there's a big difference in playing match day one of group stage or playing in a semifinal match. I actually think Jesse Marsch will have his team sit a little bit deeper in hopes they don't concede. The second reason I really like this bet against Canada is because tactically they're in for a long night, right? The Canadians' biggest weakness is in the middle of the pitch. Well, Argentina, what they like to do is they like to stretch you out, play wide, and then send balls through the middle. So the two really good players on Canada basically are out wide when we'll call Richie Larea a good player, right? And everyone knows the world-class player, Alphonso Davies. They play out wide. Their weakness in the middle, I think Argentina will be able to feast. And yes, Argentina haven't played as great as they wanted to all tournament, but they're getting the job done, and I think they do it again in this match.
All right, that should be a fun one to watch. But Wednesday night is the one that, at least from the odds perspective, right? You'll tell me if I'm off here. Seems like a complete toss-up. I mean, plus money across the board on Colombia and Uruguay. Neither have won Copa in a long time. Uruguay 2011, Colombia 2001. So toss-up in terms of odds. Does it feel that way to you as well?
It does. And this is one of those, if you take a stab at either team to win in 90 minutes, I think you're probably just flipping a coin, but you're not really getting 50% odds, right? Because I'd probably say this is more likely to be a draw than either team to win. This is a cage match. Generally, when you have really good teams going head to head in a knockout style format, they play really tight, really compact, and make sure they don't concede. We've seen a lot of complaints of this kind of brand of football, right? Even Uruguay's coach Marco Bielsa has made statements that this kind of football long term is not good for the game. Sure, fans are really excited about football now, but if they keep playing like this long term, it won't be great. Well, that's how you win games. That's how you advance. You don't leave yourself exposed. I actually lean Uruguay here. If there were to be a team to win in regulation, they play together and they give maximum effort. My only knock on Colombia, and Colombia haven't lost in 25 matches. So this is a huge like oversight, I guess I would say, or a big notion to say that they're going to lose. If they were to lose, because they lack the ability to consistently break teams down. And it's not because they don't have the players to do so. I just think it's the organization. They're not as fluid as, say, in Uruguay. But I did take a bet in this game. It's a little bit of a parlay. I took
Okay.
Darwin Nunez 3+ shots in Uruguay double chance. What that means is you have double chance to win that. If it's a draw, you win. If they win outright, you win. I think this is going to be a close one, but Darwin Nunez is going to fire away.
All right. Now, Brad, a couple of minutes to go here. Let's just review real quick the Euros, which are on Tuesday afternoon. We have Spain taking on France in one of the matches, where, again, could go either way here. Spain plus 170, France plus 210. And then we have the Netherlands taking on England, with England a clear favorite here, but again, plus money on both sides. How do you think these shake out?
Yeah, I think they're going to be very boring. I hate to say it, right? Like, we'll be lucky if there's 3 goals combined in the 2 matches. Maybe Netherlands and England, both teams are going to score in that one. England scored 5 goals from open play. Netherlands have one of the hottest teams in terms of goal scoring, but they've also been pretty fortunate in the teams they've played. Spain and France, I can't pick a winner. I would literally just throw a coin up in the air and pick one of the teams to advance. And it's not because Spain haven't looked great and France have looked kind of suspect, I guess you'd say. The French team plays stout defense. They've only conceded, 0 goals from open play. The only goal they conceded was a penalty. So I don't know how Spain score, but offensively, they've been pretty poor. So for me, I think these are both, if you take under 2.5 and parlay them together in both games, you'll probably win some money.
All right, Brad. Well, great stuff as always. Thanks for appearing on the show. We'll see how things progress and catch up again soon. Thanks for taking the time to come on.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.